folks, welcome back to Around the Yard. Today we got the snow plow or the push plow welded up. It's mid-November. I actually broke this thing last year, probably, shoot, I don't know, mid-December, mid-January, something like that. I only had a couple pushes on it and then I managed to break it. So slid it in the shop and kind of forgot about it, put on the snow bucket and went on with the winter. Needed to free some space up in the shop and just kind of finish some projects here. So got the welder out, touched up, you know, the red paint here is everywhere that there was metal showing through. Not going to bother on the front side of the blade because that's going to get scraped up regardless, but trying to keep the back side in better condition. We'll probably shoot this thing with black spray paint. Might get to that today yet. Got some Rust-Oleum here. We actually might give that a shot just to see how it goes. Just gonna bring this up to the front of the house and get it washed off. And then I don't know, maybe a coat of paint would look good on this thing. So anyhow, I'm gonna zoom in, kind of show you guys where we welded, what broke. You guys can critique my welding, but I've got an old Lincoln Tombstone welder, stick welder, and I just turn it up to 100 amps and away we go. So not good at it, but I think it'll work. So let me show you that. All right. Oh, here's our weld. I'm not going to touch it because I think it's still kind of hot, but basically it cracked from this corner to here, cracked right through here, and then when I reground this down to bare metal, I found the crack kind of continuing on over to here. So wound up filling it once and then kind of waved over the top to kind of tie this metal to the weld, and then did it again from this metal back into the weld here. So started a little bit back here and worked my way this way. So I think it's pretty solid. This was all done with a stick welder, so I mean there's last year's welds. And this bar is, I mean, this is just fencing rod basically, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, but I just wanted a little something to tie these together. There's one on each side. This was fabricated by somebody else. And you'll see here when I come in with the skid loader that on the more modern skid loaders, the ears kind of come out to about here. So the purchase needed to be back here. There we go, sorry. The purchase needed to be back here for the pins to work. So we welded those on extra. Then I just had some spare steel laying around, so we tied them together. But anyhow, maybe I'll get the blower and blow this off, and maybe we can just shoot it right here with some paint. So hang on a second. All right, we got the BR800 from Steel running. Get this thing blown off. right, so here's what we're going to use to paint this. We got Rust-Oleum gloss protective enamel. This is their turbo cans. Use this to paint a couple of the buckets and the other implements, but it's bigger than your standard or 16-ounce can or whatever a normal paint can is, 12 ounces, so 24 ounces of paint. It's got a real wide spray head on it, so big fan. Should be able to get this basically in about 2 passes. So that's it. Empty can. The good thing about these, I think, is the paint comes out so well that there legitimately isn't any more paint in here. You can just hear the ball rolling around, and we still have air left. So there isn't a whole lot of color left here, but all the paint's gone. So let me grab another one real quick. All right, since we just have a little bit left, we're going to use same kind of paint, but now in a 12-ounce can. You guys can see the difference.
So you can see far less coverage here. And I'm 6 or 8 inches away, getting about a 2-inch maybe cover. I'll be more like 1 inch.
That looks pretty sweet. It'll look even better connected to that case 445 later today. So, all right, folks, that's gonna do it for the day. One last thing, we had a few comments on this last year and it broke, and then I didn't get back to it. Everybody was questioning that this thing was actually 10 feet wide. So we can measure the skid loader too, just so you guys get a perspective of how big this thing really is. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay this out on the ground. One foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot. You guys know where this is going? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think this thing's really about 10 foot 2. We'll do this. We'll walk you along the line. Nothing edited here. Let's see here. There we go. She is 10 foot wide. All right. long as we got the tape out. Main frame of the skid loader. About 46. The tracks, I'm gonna go from, well, the tracks are 17 and a half or 17 and a quarter. 400 millimeters wide. So if I go across, start over there, basically have 22 inches to the frame. Now we're 67 to the other side of the frame here. And let's see here. Let's do this. Maybe this will a little better. There we go. All right, I'm tight on the tracks there. We are 85 and a half inches wide, track to track. So that's 1 inch, give or take, bigger than 7 feet across. Front to back on this machine, front to back, we got 27 inches to this pivot point back here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that nut. So we got 27 plus another 6 feet to right where this bar drops. So we're basically 8 feet, maybe 8.6 wide out to the quick attach here. We're 7 feet wide. So this thing is like almost a legitimate cube. That's primarily why I feel pretty safe in this machine. Most of the weight is down low. The engine is behind the seat, so I would say 95% of the weight is from, well, probably from here down. So each track, each side of the track weighs 1,500 pounds. Where the tape is bent here, that's 3 feet high. So we got 6,000 pounds plus the motor and a few other things, hydraulic tank, fuel tank, all that kind of stuff is sitting at 3 feet below. The machine is just a hair under 8 feet, I believe, maybe it's 7. Let's see. Yeah, it's 80, call it 86 inches high. So a true cube of steel, most of which, you know, a solid 3,000 pounds just in the track system, plus engine, hydraulic fluid, fuel tank, etc., etc. That's all low. This thing can take side hills, I swear, like a dozer. It's got no problem going up or down, side slopes. Then you get a big bucket or blade out in front of it and it makes it almost impossible to tip. Not that that's what I'm going for. If I ever tip it, I'm doing something wrong. I'll admit that to you right now. So this thing should never tip over if you're using it for its intended purposes. But for that matter, can't say enough good things about this Logering VTS track system. It is kind of an older style system. I do believe they still sell them new. This would be a wheel or tire machine had these tracks not been bolted on, but it's a complete bolt-on track system. So it's awesome in the dirt, it's awesome in the mud, it's pretty decent in the snow now with these zigzag tracks on it. This thing's like a 5-ton snowmobile, no joking. So anyhow, that's kind of the machine here, guys. So 7 feet wide, 8 feet long, 7 feet high. We got a 10-foot pusher blade. That snow bucket or that light material bucket, that's a full 8 feet wide. So we can move a lot of material around here in a hurry. A few of you guys are gonna say, why don't you put wings on the snow pusher blade? You could. I don't think it's necessary. Most of the stuff that I push is just a straight push anyway. This pusher blade I'm going to use primarily for clearing out the driveway, you know, we get 10 inches of snow overnight or something like that, I need to get to work. This is truly a one pass out, one pass up by the garage, and I can get out. Take this off, swap out to the 8-foot snow bucket, and then clean up in the evening. So this is, or this is good for the light, you know, like a 2-inch snowfall, 3-inch snowfall when you just want to blade off the driveway. The driveway is only, you know, 10 or 12 feet wide anyway, so I want to just spill off the sides regardless. Like I said, if it starts to creep back in, I've got a snow bucket, I've got a snow blower, I've got some other attachments and tools that we can use to push back the piles. So anyhow, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button down below, smash the like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, what you guys want to see more of, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day around the yard.